BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop Radio. Mic check, mic check, mic check. You're now tuned in with Mike J. You know the host that do the most. How it feel when you got a rapper from the West Coast on the intro. So smooth. Now we can play the instrumental. BlackTop, BlackTop, BlackTop Radio. Where you can come and get your fix. We be talking about your baby mamas or some politics. First station out where you can tune and hear the hottest. Ain't no filters, you hear all of it. You ain't really popping yet if you ain't never been a guest. Wait, let me guess, you got on next. Got the airwaves on flex. Boom. BlackTop, what did you expect? BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop Radio. 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 The BlackTop. BlackTop. BlackTop Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a Woman's Touch with Miss Erica Kimberly. Ma'am, you may touch us when you're ready.
All right. I am curious about anyone's experience with being, and I'll say this, I've seen where your significant other, you know, you're dating them and you've been dating them. Now it's time for them to meet the family. Oh, getting along good with the family. You hanging with my brother, hanging with my sister. Okay, it's all good. And then once you get to a point of, if it ain't marriage, let's say it's clearly long-term commitment, all of a sudden real personalities start coming out. And you realize, like, oh, dang, they don't get along with my family. They do not F with my family at all. Do you think that people kind of forge their way into the family for the sake of securing and locking down the significant other? And is there ever a situation where forging your way into the family in a way that is not genuine will come back to haunt or bite you in the behind in the relationship? Like, how important is it to be on one accord with the family versus just getting along with the significant other for the sake of making sure y'all can coexist?
Yeah, that's not my focus. Off rip. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm me, and I'm always me, and because what you see is what you gonna get from me, and I can't change that. So, I think a lot of the times when I meet like whoever, I'm kind of standoffish at first, only because I'm an observer. So I like to kind of sit back and watch and kind of see how y'all move and how y'all work, but not going out my way to be like, hey ma, da 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 da, like. You kind of gotta work up to that, and everybody don't have your best interest at heart. When you get in a relationship and you starting to date somebody and you're getting to know their family, they're also investigating you as well. So you have to keep in mind, like, you can't really say and get too comfortable because they're still their family at the end of the day.
Not focus on it at all. Not focus on it at all because of my experiences haven't been the best with families and multiple. I'm not saying that every person I dated, their parents has hated me or whatever, but like Miss Milan has said, you're on a grading scale. And one thing with your significant other venting to their family can have that family hating you forever. You're just venting, but that's all that person, all their parents is having a perspective of what their child vented about. You get what I'm saying? They're going to tell their side. They're going to go home. Y'all forgive each other, but mom and dad still remember that. For some reason, older folks hold on to these events way longer. So you're definitely on a grading scale. So it's not of my fact. The goal is to create and make the best new family out of the situation.
Let's piggyback off of that. Let's say in making your new family, all right, you got the girl that you wed, y'all got kids. Let's say something happens where over time she starts making comments and behaving as if, or saying that your family is a problem, or, you know, just to put something out there. It's like, yo, ghetto, Mama, you know what I'm saying? That's why that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't mess with them. And it was like, oh no, hold on. Because before you got the ring and you was all up in my face, you had no problem sitting in my mama's house. You had no problem sitting up with my sister. You had no problem hanging out with my brother.
I think it goes both ways though, because a family, sometimes they don't reveal themselves until they get too comfortable.
Very true.
So I think it can go both ways.
Good point.
I think as the person in the middle, you're supposed to be able to handle both situations. And when I say that, you check whatever side you feel like is violating. You should never feel comfortable to think that because we're arguing for whatever reason, you can disrespect my mother.
Yeah, you can't disrespect family.
Yeah.
And I would also take up for you the same way as my significant others. My mother was single at a particular point before she got married, and she always, stayed close with her mom. Okay, mom lived with grandmother when she, as she got older. My grandmother got older. You know what I'm saying? My mom gets married. My mother is venting to my grandmother about everything that happens in the house about my father.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. And my grandmother's the type, she's not gonna hold it. You know what I'm saying? So while my mom is just venting to her mother about the things that irritate her, my grandmother is gonna say that. She's gonna go downstairs and tell my stepdad exactly how things need to be run in her eyes. And that creates toxic. You know what I'm saying?
My mom's the same way though. My mom is very much like that. So I don't really talk to her about a lot of stuff because I know that when she get mad, she'll say it. She don't care. So I don't like to talk to her about too much stuff. I kind of limit it.
Yeah.
Your own words will backfire. What you tell your parents can definitely backfire.
Even with my friends.
Especially if you dating the daddy's girl. Oh, that's the worst. Because they father has to be, they judging the hell out of you. Oh, well, my daughter ain't want for nothing. You out here, you better treat my daughter good. This, that, and the third. And it's just like, sir, let me cook.
Real talk.
You did not need to be this. I got her. Okay.
Your daughter told me you cheated on her mama.
That's so funny because my daddy be doing that, and I be like, Daddy, I just start talking to you. How you gonna tell somebody how to treat me? Like, what are we talking about?
More toxicity.
See, and I think that speaking on that, that's something that again is important. It's almost like, okay, do you give your significant other a rundown of your family so they almost have a game plan of this is how you can approach or attack this person? You know what I'm saying? Like you need to just be you, be cool, be comfortable, but understand they're gonna do this, or they raised me all my life. They gonna do this. They gonna do that. Kind of like giving your partner a guideline maybe of how to deal with your family if you know you have difficult family, or if maybe your family just isn't that open. There are a lot of layers to it. It could be a white-black thing. It could be a Spanish, Puerto Rican.
Like a lot of dynamic.
Yeah.
And you really do, like, if you have one of those weird type of situations, like with a family, you kind of you should brief your partner.
Yes.
So they don't walk in feeling uncomfortable or feeling weird or on guard.
I think that's what happened to me. To be honest with you, I dated outside of my race.
That's a
Oh boy.
And the person I dated outside of my race was way close knit with their family than I was with mine. It's kind of like, I love you, Mom, but I'm gonna build on my own. You still building. We doing. They're with each other 3 times a week type thing, 2 times a week, enough to the point where I look like the bad guy because I don't want to always go hang out with the family. But you're a little bit too much up under your family for me to feel like that I can grow with you.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you.
Let the nest go. So yeah,
that's valid.
Yeah.
And that's on, that's based on heritage, as well. Your family, different races have a different connection with it. The Italian people don't move out of their mama house.
Okay.
At a certain degree.
Neither do the Mexicans either.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, they just add
you
on
in the
that
car
to the house.
with them. You traveling in the same car, the same van with them, everything. Your seat might be the hubcap. I swear for Jesus. Like they do everything together.
Yeah.
Around
means-
my way, they don't move houses. They add on to the house.
They-
for sure. They don't.
No, it's just I do believe that family dynamic, especially if you're blessed to have at the very least some sort of okay to good to happy relationship with your parents or other people in your family who you bring into your life personally and intimately does matter to them, whether they say it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People do have an investment in regards to their loved ones, and especially if you're somebody who you built so much on your own, they just feel like not anybody's going to come up in here and get you off track. Shout out to Clay's mother from Love is Blind, the man who is now dating Selena Powell. Oh my God.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane.
What?
And then speaking of disrespecting parents, she had the audacity
Yeah, I
to
just
be playing the
seen
Tupac.
that. I just
Fuck
seen
you
it.
and your mother. Like, hold on. You know, so it's interesting because, again, when clearly there is a disrespect to either or party, you are automatically in the middle. Mm-hmm. And in the middle does not always mean neutral.
Nah.
Because there are some situations where, as you said, you got to check whoever
speak up.
violated.
Yeah.
Okay?
You got to, from the start, or make an executive decision. That's how I was taught. Make it happen right now when you got to make it happen, as far as when you feel violated, when this person's violated. Because you setting this rock, you setting this foundation. How this thing plays out is how you'll be looked at moving forward from each side.
Yeah. Now, you know, I think it also depends on who your parents are, right? Like who your family is. Like for me, like I kind of seek advice as a man, but that's because my pops is married. You know what I'm saying? So I don't speak in detail about what me and my significant other may be going on in the house. But as a man, if I'm trying to achieve that level of marriage, like what am I doing wrong, or what can I do better at? You know what I'm saying? Now there's that aspect. Now,
Yes.
I've dealt with somebody who had one of those bitter moms who couldn't find a man, and she was trying to seek advice for her. She telling them, you know, N-words ain't this, and like, ma'am, I think I'm doing all right. Like, why are you feeling this? Your daughter with, you know what I'm saying? Your source is not necessarily credible.
Yeah.
For those situations.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those
Yes.
relationships really matter.
That definitely matters a lot.
100%.
Right. Like, does the family
Is it a
bear
positive
fruit?
family?
Do you come from
That
good
part.
stock? That matters. Because obviously if your family has, you know, they're not even necessarily well-to-do, but they have establishment and order in their lives,
Right.
then
Some type
that
of
means like, okay, you know what? I
organization.
do not mind taking advice from them. Even as a significant other, I'm going to shut up and listen when I'm around these people because there's some things that I can get,
Right.
you know, I need to learn or I can get to hear in their presence. Whereas being arrogant and thinking that you got your significant other in the
Right.
bag, you may come off a little standoffish, like, I ain't trying to talk to your mama. You know what I'm saying? You know, do you know what I mean? Like, I think how you view your significant other's family matters just as much as how they view you in their family, bringing you into the fold. What does that mean, you know? Family matters.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to try that hard to impress your family, though. Like, if
No.
they like me, they like me.
Some
Don't
relationships you barely see the family.
That's
What if you go off to college and you end up finding love in a different state? You know, so it's not even a guaranteed thing to be a standard nowadays. How it was back in the day. Family's approval.
I agree, but I also agree with what you said earlier. I think I'm heavy more on building new family traditions and things like that than I am with like I'm okay with trying to pass the torch and do like the big family thing, but I think when it gets too wrapped up to the point where it's more of that than it's building on us, then it's kind of like too invasive into what we have going on.
I agree with that because I can't, not that I don't want you into your family, not that I'm going to be turned off by you being a family guy, but there will come a point in the relationship where you doing more for your family than you do for me will turn me off.
Right. Right.
100%, because now I'm like, oh, you're not a good provider because you're going to put the needs of others before me in the household or before me as, you know what I mean? Like things like that do play a factor. Who a man is to his family does play a factor in his character.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people don't even pay attention to that because all you see is somebody trying to be a family person, but you have to look at the aspect of how you're receiving and getting that on the back end.
That's facts. So I got a cool question off of that. So what if your person has done what we said earlier in this conversation, has went to their family and spoke about things that are happening in your house that are not in the greatest of light, is the relationship over at that point?
No.
Knowing that the family now hates you.
Yeah, the family don't necessarily have to see. No, that's exactly it. If the family hates me after that, it's going to be a point of contention in the relationship. But I feel like real folks still get down on the floor, and real family going to be like, look, it
Talk
is what
out.
it is.
Come on now.
Well, okay, we all done been through. Look, I done beat your uncle up for work. Like,
I was gonna say
Right.
go by your family because
Correct.
you could tell my mama on me, and my mama was like, I ain't surprised. I ain't surprised.
You know what I'm saying?
Then let me tell you what I did when I was in labor with him or something. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll probably understand completely. So it ain't gonna deter her from having that in my family.
You got some real OG mamas who gonna keep it real with her. Like, listen,
welcome
if
to the
I was
family.
you, I would have left them. But you still here. Y'all got them 2 kids.
Y'all
You need to
gonna
figure
work
it
it
out.
out?
Do what you gonna do.
We gonna sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna call him and
I'ma
ask
call
him
him
what's
right
going on.
Yep.
That part.
But it is
No,
that.
I love those mamas.
That is what it is. I love those mamas too because I think they've lived just a little bit enough to
Yes.
know, like, hey,
Correct.
Like, ain't nobody
This ain't-
perfect,
this
but
ain't
if
no-
y'all love each other, y'all gonna work it out.
That-
and y'all
That's my
got
mom.
kids. Get it together for
So
them dang kids.
She's never been the type that's gonna be like hating on you. She probably gonna try to come in and try to figure out, you know, she'll probably embrace you to
Yes.
figure out what the situation is, but she's not gonna use it as a weapon against you.
And let's be clear, we're not talking about the mamas who condone abuse and condone that their sons are doing the worst of the worst.
No.
We're talking about the mamas who stick by you knowing that you done did some wrong and so did her son or her daughter.
She know her son. You feel me?
There you go.
I mean, it is a little awkward, right?
It can be.
I think
it
once that is gone, like I feel like y'all can't. It's gonna be
You
hard.
should be
to
getting
rebuild
closer
that.
after some drama. Y'all should be getting closer, okay?
Not them in her ear, and
Food
you know what
should
I'm
be getting
saying?
better,
Them
barbecue
making
should
it
be getting hotter.
Because the more they in her ear, the more y'all gonna drift apart. Because now she's coming in and she's like, yeah, I love you too, and then she go over there.
Yeah.
Okay, see? That's
But yeah, that's
good point.
that's
Good
not-
point.
Tyrone,
good
so
point.
and so, this,
That's
that, and the
where-
bud.
okay.
That's what you're supposed
You
to nip it in the
cannot be
bud,
a mama's
like-
boy. At some point, you have to grow into a man of your own. If you a mama's boy, like I get that sentiment, or a mama's girl, running telling your mama everything, running telling your daddy everything. But there's a point where you have to stop, be centered, be yourself, and handle your drama on your own.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Especially if you grown enough to be having the sex. You need to be grown enough to be handling your drama on your own.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
So what
I feel
you're
like I'm
saying
being
is,
read.
Oh my God! You talking to your mom about
You be
some stuff.
snitching?
I'm talking about like the mom, significant other, family thing that whole
yeah.
time. Yeah, I feel like I definitely can relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
But see, so are we? Because in that situation, do we even care about making I ain't gonna say amends, but impressing the family at that point? If it has now
At my big
turned
grown age,
dark.
No. But at our big grown age, who we are should be impressive enough. If we are real and genuine,
There we go.
that should be enough to buy the family
Period.
over. Nobody should have to fake nothing.
When
If you
you-
are who you say you are, and you are
You
genuine,
should like
and you
me
move with
for who
pure
I am.
intentions, that part.
Because you know this always go back to Martin. Remember when they was trying to get married and none of their family liked each other,
Yeah.
and they were talking bad about Gina, they were talking bad about Martin, and they just said, you know what, F it. Like we just gonna go get married by ourselves. But it's like at the end of the day, that still gotta kind of hit you. Like you will want your family.
but at the end
And
of the
your
day, I'm not gonna force it. If y'all can't agree, then me and him,
mean, that's
we
true.
gonna go do our own thing because we
Right.
happy,
Right.
That's
and
right.
that's all that matters.
Right. True.
And I'm gonna holler at y'all when I get back. I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow or something.
It's a want, it's not a need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love for this to be the situation, but if it ain't that and me and her rocking, we building, then that's just what it is. It's about the future.
So what do we take away from this, Miss Erica Kimberly?
Oh, I feel like we take away that while family is not the end all be all, family does matter in regards to, especially if we have a significant other who does take pride in his or her relationship with her mother, her father, her aunts, her brothers, sisters, like whoever it may be. There's clearly a natural dynamic in all of us that wants to gel and get along well with that family.
Right.
But when we see an issue where the relationships are calling into character or calling into play the character of who we're with or the character of our family, maybe sometimes it's safe or it's okay to step back, pull these parties apart and just allow ourselves to love these people separately. Like you don't always have to forge yourself in the family. Some things should be happening naturally and organically. And if it's not, it's just not. And if you love your significant other enough, you probably will not put them in situations where they have to
defend themselves
or expose a side of them that you don't like. Family too.
Or
you know
act fake.
That as well.
I agree.
I'm not trying
those exact words.
I'm not trying to act to impress somebody.
There you go.
Right.
I would just rather just be me and they be impressed by me and potentially see my bad and help you out in the long run to know I'm not the worst.
Right. Protect both parties. But of course, you know, depending on where you are with your significant other, there is a point where you do tend to cling more to your partner than you do your family. And maybe that is just the relationship that you will protect. And if there's ever a situation where your partner feels offended or violated by your family, maybe it's best to just keep them separate until cool heads prevail, or you can get that level of understanding where everybody's ready to move on.
Facts.
I agree.
Well, shout out to that touch. That was
It was a grope.
And a read.
I just wait.
Not you grabbing us by the.
no diddy. That was a hair touch.
They act right around my mom.
Hey man, well let us know about that touch, Miss Erica Kimberly. Tell them what they can legally stalk you at, ma'am.
Yes, Instagram at Erica Kimberly _, and you can find me linked to the BlackTop's page.
There it is. Know what I'm saying, man? She had some people come for her in the comments today too. I saw that.
It was nobody. Ain't nobody paid that.
It wasn't that deep, but calm down, sir. Relax.
I can tell you need a hug too. You like, come on, bro.
I'm being hugged every night.
No.
Successfully.
She's getting touched
With a whole lot of consent.
Groped. Hey man, yeah.
I'm not. Send nudes. I'm sad. Send nudes. Excuse me.
I love it.
All right, be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right.
We are in Richmond.
So I heard you like some news.
Okay.
I will listen to the radio. You said send them. Judge me, big dog.
With that
hold on, bro.
Big dog. Check me out. I'm about to what is it? The bed post.
bed post.
I'm about to bed post. Check me out.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, that's wild. A shorty send that?
Wait a minute. Wrong number.
All right. All right.
One titty at a time, y'all. One
Go ahead,
titty.
log out.
Check me out. I'm about to bed post. This is
Yeah.
terrible.
Hilarious, man.